The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or LXG, as it will be known henceforth, should have been amazing.
Are you wearing a jockstrap or what?
Not only does the concept come from the brain of the mighty warlock that is Alan Moore, it includes quintessential fictional figures of Victorian literature, such as the Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Alan Quatermain and Captain Nemo. It's a Justice League of Victorian England.
I'm waiting to be impressed.
The source material is essentially a deconstructed parody, weaving cameos from many works of fiction and pop culture sacred cows, amping up their darkest aspects while critiquing contemporary tropes of comic book writing, while maintaining a universe in which all the stories exist alongside one another.
Well, this is nice.
Let's make a movie of this. It will be ace. No, you made it shite. LXG is shite, but it's all right.
So what are we dealing with?
Welcome to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
LXG is notable as being Sean Connery's last silver screen outing, and is also the film that drove him to quit acting. Connery said the shoot was a nightmare. He didn't get on with his director, Stephen
I wouldn't do a film with him.
Norrington of Blade fame.
Unfortunately, he wasn't certified before we started because he would have been arrested for insanity.
Not the kind of comment you want to hear from your leading man, who comes with a $17 million price tag and an executive producer on the film.
Extraordinary gentleman indeed.
They apparently almost came to blows during production, with an infuriated Connery threatening to have Norrington fired.
I found him absolutely charming.
I bet Connery could knock Norrington out with one punch. There were rumours that Connery kicked Norrington out of the edit suite, while also using his creative power under his executive producer role when it came to character changes, such as refusing to play Quatermain as an opium addict.
Not the whole thing.
And it almost ended in a fight to get out of the place, and needless to say, one was a bit upset.
So you have a star and a director at loggerheads, coupled with a series of mishaps that plagued the production, including floods in Prague, doubling Venice in the film, destroying sets worth $7 million, and a super tight schedule with a release date so locked down that the studio, Fox, showed no compassion whatsoever towards Norrington, refusing to offer more time for shooting, yet still expecting to open the film on their set date.
Perfect.
With a budget costing Fox $78 million, not a small amount for 2003, and hundreds of reviews upon release, the fact that it managed to gross $179 million worldwide is something of an achievement.
I've been all over the world working my ass off and you've done nothing.
It wasn't a flop, but it wasn't enough to warrant a sequel either. People think LXG is a disaster, and yes, it's shite, but it's all right.
The stats were fantastic.
First off, Connery is magnificent. It's such a shame he hung up his toupee.
No more Sean Connery
No,
in a movie.
no.
No.
You've done terrible things in England.
He's full of old school film star jism. He's a potent grizzled granddad, and he still pulls off the action, and he's a charming rogue to boot.
The game is on.
However, some of the other casts are terrible. A little bit of sick rises from my gut to my throat every time Tom Sawyer is on screen. Shane West's performance, if you can call it that, is knob cheese personified. I understand why they've got a younger character, who's a Yank, to counter Connery's age, and the other cast members' Europeanness.
I have been missing London so.
But if you're going to shoehorn in a character, make him interesting, or give him something to do.
No one seems to like me.
Yes, he saves half of Venice from sinking, but any of the other characters could have driven Nemo's Batmobile. They should have killed him off, to give Quatermain an edge. Stuart Townsend as Dorian Gray is risible. Each line reading seems to come from a thug of prescription drugs.
I'm complicated.
Dorian's on the hillbilly heroin again, obviously. Bargain basement limp Terminator that he is.
You scratch me.
You're in.
They should have ditched Dorian Gray, along with Mina Harker, concentrate on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde,
I'm yours.
Nemo, the Invisible Man,
Cheers.
and Quatermain. These are the most interesting members of the League. And the actors each give good performances. LXG is enjoyable in its daftness, and at only 1 hour 45 minutes, it doesn't numb your bum like most modern blockbusters do. Although they could have easily trimmed 15 minutes off, as too much time is spent on Captain Nemo's bloody boat.
Our transportation has arrived.
Some of the effects have stood up well, and some haven't. The production design is great for all the interiors. However, 89% of the action takes place at night, and everything is so poorly lighted that it looks like it was shot on the same two streets. when in fact they spent big bucks on the set.
Eyes open, boy.
The central plot is cool,
Recruited to find a madman.
He's called the Phantom. To stop him, you must lead a team like nothing the world has seen.
but the script is so poorly executed. The fact of the matter is, it's not respected to its source material.
Eyes open, boy.
While it draws on the works of Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, Bram Stoker, Conan Doyle, Ian Fleming, Herman Melville, Oscar Wilde, and Robert Louis Stevenson, with a bit of Edgar Allan Poe and Mark Twain thrown in for good measure, it doesn't do anything innovative to capitalise on its well-fictional heritage.
That was naughty.
The villain of the piece is solid enough, even if he has personality issues. Is he M? Is he the Phantom? Is he Moriarty? No, he's none of these things. In fact, we can call him the Enigma, as it's never revealed who he is. But at least he has a bit of chutzpah, even though he does rather set up his own demise by getting the lead together in the first place.
Do you work for the tabloids or the News of the World?
LXG has many flaws, but it had a troubled production, a director out of his depth, an egotistical star, but in the end it entertains, and has a charm to it.
May this new century be your son.
Has an old-fashioned adventure B-movie aesthetic.
It's really got a lot of, I think, original and good fun stuff in it.
You could argue that it's ahead of its time.
I don't know how to drive this thing!
Assembling a team of disparate characters with individual skill sets to battle a common foe. Hello, Avengers.
Please tell me nobody kissed me.
And it's worth the price of admission for Connery's last screen performance. Verdict: it's shite, but it's all right.